This is huge! Meghan Markle has a comprehensive plan for divorce.
Because she's got such a big ego, she probably thinks she can be James Bond. Didn't you know I'm not Meghan Markle anymore? I'm James Bond.
Meghan is smart, right? Her superpower is getting what she wants. That's what she's good at doing. And she plays the waiting game like, you know, when a cat is trying to kill a bird in the garden. The cat waits. Have you noticed how patient cats are?
I'm so confused. The truth is that Meghan is a serial failure. Everything she touches turns to mud, which is why she has gone back to acting.
Meghan Markle is suddenly at the center of a Hollywood frenzy, with insiders saying offers are hitting her from every direction as talk heats up about a possible split from Prince Harry. What started as quiet whispers about her stepping back into acting is now being viewed as something much bigger. Almost like a calculated move to build her own financial power and independence if her personal life takes a dramatic turn. And the moment this story started bubbling up.
Now, we're told that Meghan knows which lawyers she's going to be using, that Meghan knows where she wants to live, and of course, Meghan is said to be prepared for the mother of all legal battles for parental access to Archie and Lily, who, as we've seen in recent months, and particularly over Easter, have become a central part of her public relations strategy.
The industry didn't hesitate. It jumped in fast, treating her less like a former royal and more like a full-blown attention magnet who can flip headlines overnight. What's wild is that this entire storm didn't come from a big announcement or a polished media rollout. Instead, it reportedly came from one simple comment by a former co-star hinting she might return to acting, and that alone sent casting agents into overdrive. Insiders in Los Angeles say phones started ringing nonstop, with agents calling it one of the most intense waves of interest they've seen in years. It's not just curiosity either. Studios are moving aggressively, racing to get scripts and deals in front of her before anyone else even gets a foot in the door. The range of offers being thrown her way is just as shocking. From romantic comedies to high-end dramas, sitcoms to full-on soap-style productions, even horror projects, nothing is off the table. That tells you everything you need to know. This isn't about finding the perfect role. It's about attaching her name to anything that can explode in the public eye. One senior casting agent even called her a unicorn, saying she brings a mix of global fame, controversy, curiosity, and non-stop conversation that almost no one else can match.
So Netflix did very well from the Harry and Meghan documentary. You see, that is where the gold is. What Harry and Meghan have is the royal credentials, the royal pedigree, the relationship with the late Queen and with Charles and Camilla and all the rest of it. So Meghan, after divorce, it's our understanding that Meghan thinks she can get double or triple or maybe quadruple.
Now the conversation has shifted completely. It's no longer just about whether she's coming back to acting, it's about what that move actually means. Because while Hollywood is busy chasing deals, there's a deeper layer to this story that people can't ignore. Some insiders are starting to suggest this isn't just a career comeback. It could be a strategic reset, a move about timing, control, and long-term independence if major changes unfold in her personal life. And this is where things get even more intense. Behind closed doors, industry insiders aren't just talking about roles. They're talking about leverage, timing, and the raw power of attention itself. Meghan Markle isn't being viewed as just another actress stepping back into the spotlight. She's being seen as someone whose next move could shake up streaming platforms.
She is going to be playing herself.
But who is Meghan Markle? Because we don't know who the real Meghan Markle is. Prince Harry doesn't know who the real Meghan Markle is.
Meghan Markle was just one of the working girls for Soho House. Call girl, working girl, escort, whatever you want to call it. That's what she was.
I think this is the perfect role for Meghan Markle.
Influence production budgets and dominate global media cycles all at once. That kind of influence is rare, and Hollywood clearly knows it. At the same time, there's a layer of uncertainty that's making everything even more dramatic. People inside the industry are reportedly scrambling to figure out who is actually guiding her next move, with agents and producers reaching out through old connections just to re-establish contact. And in Hollywood, when things aren't clear, it only fuels more speculation. Ambiguity like this never stays neutral. It instantly turns into talk of either a major opportunity or possible instability depending on who's telling the story. Meanwhile, her media presence after stepping away from royal life seems to be shifting again. Earlier streaming plans that once looked solid are now being described as less certain.
Why not make money showing the downfall of your relationship, your marriage? You are now not very much together. It's great to show Harry and how he is so not happy at the moment.
With insiders hinting at changing priorities and a feeling that the original direction might not be hitting the way it was expected to. All of this adds another layer to the situation, making it clear that whatever comes next won't just be a simple return. It's shaping up to be a major turning point with serious stakes. All these moving pieces, Hollywood rushing in, confusion around who's actually representing her, and shifting media deals are creating the perfect storm where even the smallest rumor explodes into something massive. What could have been a simple update about returning to acting is now being treated like a full-on transformation moment, almost like her entire public identity is being rewritten in real time. As the buzz keeps getting louder, the conversation around Meghan Markle is splitting into two very different camps. Some people see this as a real creative comeback, a chance for her to step back into acting on her own terms. Others aren't buying it that easily. They think this move could be tied to bigger changes behind the scenes, especially with ongoing talk about her relationship with Prince Harry and what that could mean for her independence and long-term future.
Absolute phony Meghan is. She's as fake as anything. She's barely a human being. She's an avatar. She's a hologram. She's a grinning, tanned, human manifestation of ChatGPT software gone horribly wrong. Meghan is the world's first AI duchess.
Inside Hollywood, the reaction has been anything but calm. Insiders describe the situation as chaotic, with casting agents and studios moving at lightning speed to pitch ideas, lock in meetings, and get ahead of the competition. It's starting to look less like a normal casting process and more like a high-stakes bidding war, where the real prize isn't the role. It's the attention that comes with her name. And that's the key difference here. Meghan Markle isn't being judged the usual way. No one is focusing on past roles or typical career steps. Instead, everything is being viewed through one question. How much noise will this create? Because in today's media world, attention is everything, and she brings a level of curiosity that's hard to ignore. That's exactly why the offers are coming from every direction. Different genres, different formats, different styles. It doesn't even have to make perfect sense creatively. The real goal is to tap into that unpredictable wave of attention that follows her everywhere she goes. It's less about storytelling and more about impact, and everyone wants a piece of it. But not everyone is convinced this will last.
It was revealed in Variety magazine, who are normally very pro-Harry and Meghan, that this guy, Ted Sarandos, will not take a call with Meghan unless there's a lawyer on the line. So there's no trust, and he knows that they've lost money on the Sussexes. But, what was the high points of Harry and Meghan's time with Netflix? It was the documentary, which was called Harry and Meghan, and that was the documentary in which Meghan mocked Queen Elizabeth with the whole curtsy scene. I didn't know what to do and had a curtsy. It was very embarrassing. And Harry looked like he wanted the ground to swallow him up. He was so embarrassed. And it's amazing that that attack on Queen Elizabeth made the cut, but it did.
A growing number of critics are starting to push back, arguing that the initial hype could be driven more by curiosity than genuine long-term interest. Some are even saying audiences might tune in just to see what happens, not necessarily to stay invested in the story itself. In that view, the first project, whether it's a show, film, or appearance, could pull massive global attention, spark endless online debates, and dominate headlines, but then fade once the novelty wears off. That brings up a serious question about staying power, because while headlines and controversy can pull people in fast, real success in acting usually depends on something deeper: connection, consistency, and strong storytelling. And those things can't be guaranteed just by having everyone talking at once. On top of that, the industry she's stepping back into isn't the same as before. Hollywood has changed fast. It's more crowded, more global, and heavily driven by streaming platforms and algorithms. That means even big names have to fight harder to stay relevant, and attention alone doesn't always translate into lasting success. There's also growing talk about how her current position fits with her earlier media deals, which were once presented as a major shift into content creation alongside Prince Harry.
Let's go through some of the best of Meghan Markle's non-suits acting.
Hi.
How do you feel about it?
It's the biggest piece of dog shit.
Here she is as they open up her hotel room in CSI New York. Harry must love that one.
Now, those plans seem to be quietly shifting, with insiders hinting that priorities are changing and the original vision might not be playing out the way it was first imagined. Even without official confirmation, all these small signals are starting to add up. Changes in projects, subtle shifts in messaging, and the overall tone of her public presence are painting a picture of someone in transition, not stability. And the more Hollywood pushes to work with her right now, the more it feeds the speculation. It's a loop that keeps building. Interest creates buzz. Buzz creates more interest. And suddenly, everything feels bigger, louder, and way more intense than it started. In this kind of high-pressure environment, nothing stays neutral for long. Every small move gets analyzed like it's part of a bigger strategy. Even the tiniest update can suddenly feel loaded with meaning, and every project tied to Meghan Markle starts looking less like simple entertainment and more like a signal of where her life is heading next.
This is huge, right? So Meghan is strategic. She waited a long time to pounce on Harry. She identified a guy that was emotionally broken, PTSD, trauma, all that stuff. A damaged little creature, and she zeroed in. And it was mission accomplished. But she waited and she was patient and she played the game beautifully. Well, she'll be doing the same now.
This is where things get deeper, because the mix of Hollywood momentum and personal speculation turns the story into something way bigger than casting. It becomes about identity, independence, and who controls the narrative moving forward. And whether the rumors about her relationship with Prince Harry are true or not, they're already shaping how people see everything. What could have been a straightforward return to acting is now being viewed as a layered media moment, blending career ambition with nonstop personal speculation. It's no longer just, she's acting again, it's, what does this really mean? And that question is driving the entire conversation. As everything keeps unfolding, the real focus is shifting. It's not about whether she's getting offers, because clearly she is. And it's not about whether Hollywood is interested, that part is obvious. The bigger question now is what all this attention actually represents.
Now, we know that the relationship between Netflix and Meghan has disintegrated, and we know that poor old Netflix have lost millions in their brand partnership with Meghan. We also know that nobody watched Harry's boring polo documentary. Oh yeah, it's so exciting.
People are starting to look at the bigger picture, connecting it to ideas like independence, brand reinvention, and long-term control over her own story, especially with ongoing talks surrounding Prince Harry still circulating in the background. That's why this possible acting comeback feels so much bigger than just entertainment. It's starting to look like a way to redefine who she is on her own terms, separate from royal ties, past media deals, or shared branding that once shaped her image. Hollywood, in this case, offers something extremely powerful, the ability to turn visibility into serious financial opportunity at a global level. And that alone makes this moment stand out, no matter what's driving it behind the scenes. But here's where things get even more controversial. Some voices are now suggesting that this could be part of a much larger personal shift, arguing that if a major life change were to happen, stepping straight into a high-profile, independent career would give her both financial security and control over her narrative almost instantly. Now, none of that is confirmed, but the fact that people are even saying it shows just how tightly personal life and career moves are linked in today's media world.
But be clear that Netflix aren't stupid, and they've lost a lot of money, and they've also totally torched their reputation as a platform for great content. But Sarandos is not stupid, right? This is a guy that's at the helm of the biggest broadcast platform on the planet.
At the same time, there's still confusion behind the scenes that keeps adding fuel to the situation. Reports say industry insiders aren't even fully sure who is managing her next steps right now, with studios and producers reaching out through old contacts and indirect connections just to open a line of communication. And in Hollywood, that kind of uncertainty doesn't slow things down. It actually speeds them up because people start reading between the lines and assuming something big is happening. All of this is unfolding in an industry where attention is the ultimate currency. It's not just about talent or storytelling anymore, it's about who can dominate the conversation instantly. And that's exactly why Meghan Markle is in such a powerful position right now, because her involvement alone can spark global discussion before a project even gets off the ground. That kind of influence is rare. And it's exactly why this situation keeps getting louder, bigger, and impossible to ignore.
The only reason why Netflix has stayed in the game with Harry and Meghan is because they are anticipating that the couple will divorce, and Netflix want to be close to Meghan so they can have the exclusive and they can have Meghan My Story, which will be a 10-part awful documentary about her and her terrible life being married to Harry.
But here's the twist. This kind of attention comes with serious risk. When success is driven by hype and headlines, it can rise fast and crash just as quickly once the excitement fades. That's the unstable side of all this, and it's exactly what critics are pointing out right now. They're saying the first wave of interest in Meghan Markle's return would be huge, no question about it, fueled by curiosity, media buzz, and non-stop public debate. But what happens after that first moment? That's where things get unpredictable. Because staying power doesn't come from attention alone. Long-term success depends on things you can't fake: how audiences connect, how strong the performances are, and whether the story actually keeps people invested. And that's the tension everyone's talking about right now. The difference between people watching once out of curiosity and actually sticking around long term. It's the gap between being a trending topic and becoming a lasting presence. And that gap is not easy to close. At this point, the story around Meghan Markle isn't just about roles or Hollywood deals anymore. It's about how modern fame really works. Everything is mixed together now. Personal life, public image, and entertainment value, all feeding into each other in real time.
She's accepted now that she needs the money and that her career is absolutely in the toilet.
And depending on what happens next, this moment could turn into a full career comeback, a calculated repositioning, or just a short burst of attention that fades as quickly as it arrived. But one thing is already clear. Every single move carries massive weight right now. The combination of industry interest, non-stop speculation, and unanswered questions has created an environment where even the smallest update can shift the entire narrative. A simple confirmation or denial could flip the story overnight, because this isn't just about acting anymore. It's about perception, timing, and control in a world that's watching every step. And when you zoom out, this becomes something even bigger. It's not just about Hollywood or celebrity culture. It's about how public figures operate when everything they do gets amplified instantly. Every rumor starts to feel real, every decision looks strategic, and every possibility becomes part of a much larger story playing out in front of millions. As this final layer comes into focus, what really stands out is the speed of it all. The way this story has exploded, from quiet whispers to a full global conversation, is almost unbelievable. Hollywood ambition, personal rumors, and media interpretation have all blended together into one non-stop cycle of attention that just keeps feeding itself.
Financial and public relations life raft after Harry and she go their separate ways. This project is a post-divorce project.
And whether those reports about her being bombarded with offers are completely accurate or slightly exaggerated, the timing is impossible to ignore. Between casting buzz, comments from people connected to her past, and the public's constant curiosity, everything is hitting at once. Even the smallest hint of movement is getting turned into a headline, and that kind of momentum is exactly what drives deals behind the scenes. Because in Hollywood, perception can be just as powerful as reality. Once momentum starts building, studios and producers don't want to be left out. They jump in early, sometimes before anything is even confirmed. That's why the wide range of offers matters so much. It shows this isn't about one role, it's about the bigger play of attaching Meghan Markle's name to something that can dominate global attention. At the same time, the conversation about her personal life, especially anything involving Prince Harry, keeps adding intensity to everything. Even without any confirmed changes, that background noise reshapes how people see every move she makes. Suddenly, a simple acting rumor doesn't feel simple anymore. It feels like part of a much bigger reinvention story unfolding in real time. What really makes this situation stand out is how perfectly it exposes the way modern entertainment actually works. Fame, rumors, and business deals aren't separate anymore. They're all connected, moving together in real time like one giant machine. One small comment from a former colleague can spark industry chatter. The chatter turns into insider quotes, and suddenly those quotes are everywhere, spreading across media platforms until people start treating them like confirmed facts just because they keep hearing them again and again. That's why Meghan Markle's situation feels bigger than just one story. It's not only about her, it's about how celebrity narratives are built today. Attention is doing double duty here. It's both the fuel driving everything forward and the final product everyone is trying to capture. And whether she signs a deal soon or not, one thing is already clear. Her name still carries serious global power. It doesn't even matter if the reaction is positive or negative. Excitement, criticism, curiosity, controversy. It all feeds into the same cycle. And very few people in entertainment can create that kind of impact. Right now, everyone is watching closely for her next move. Because in a situation like this, silence isn't just silence. It gets analyzed, questioned, and turned into even more speculation. And in Hollywood, interpretation spreads way faster than actual confirmation ever could. So whether this turns into a full acting comeback, a more controlled and selective return, or just another wave of buzz that slowly fades out, one thing has already been proven. The industry has shown exactly how it sees her. Meghan Markle is still someone who can shift global conversations almost instantly without warning. And that alone is enough to keep this story alive, growing, and impossible to ignore long after most headlines would have disappeared. If you've got thoughts on this, drop them in the comments. Let's hear what you think. If this breakdown opened your eyes, hit subscribe and stay tuned for more deep dives like this. Don't forget to smash that like button and share it with someone who needs to see it.